Up continues at Vermont's Capitol.
Tonight, for the first time, we take you inside and under the Capitol complex in Montpelier. Our Calvin Cutler is live there now. Calvin, how bad is the damage?
Well, good evening, Darren and Kat. Some buildings fared better than others, but those that were hit were devastated. You can hear the roar of the generators behind me pumping fresh air into the pavilion building to try to avoid mold. Now, I guess just can't stress how complex the heating, plumbing, and electrical systems are here at the Capitol complex and how intertwined they are and how complex the recovery will be. Montpelier's downtown was slammed by the floods. Down State Street, government buildings also took it on the nose.
Every wire, every panel eventually will need to be taken out and repaired.
Dave DiBiase with Buildings and General Services takes us underneath the Capitol complex, which took on 7 feet of water. He shows us the Pavilion Auditorium, a familiar site of Governor Scott's COVID-19 press conferences. It was inundated with contaminated floodwater and is now stripped out. Nearly 200 contractors are working daily in a labyrinth of tunnels, which connect the governor, attorney general's, and treasurer's office to the Supreme Court, and then to the tax department across the State House lawn. Remediation experts, architects, electricians, plumbers, utility crews, state employees, and more. Pumping out, cleaning, stripping, remediating, rewiring, and rebuilding every day. But perhaps the biggest challenge under new state flood regulations, all heating, cooling, and electric systems have to be brought above the floodplain, which means onto the first floor.
We're spending a lot of time on the administrative side understanding where and what we have to do to make sure we're compliant with code.
The cost of rebuilding and retooling HVAC in these historic buildings is expected to be astronomical. Leaders don't dare put a price tag on it or a date of completion.
And meeting regularly to just understand the scope and size of what we're up against.
Inflation, workforce shortages, and supply chains will also likely pose problems.
We know that elevator parts are 20 to 30 weeks out once we order them.
State employees are currently working remotely, a practice adopted during the pandemic.
And they really provide a lot of the vitality and life to our downtown.
Local leaders say tax revenue was already hurting, and the longer they're gone, the bigger the impact on businesses struggling to recover.
We've been hurting because we haven't had the foot traffic and the customers that we really count on in the city. And now with this, we don't know what's going to happen.
The buildings being knocked offline also raises questions about the future of brick-and-mortar offices and what role remote work plays, as the nation's smallest capital continues on the road to recovery. Now, the flood damage here in Montpelier has raised many existential questions for the community, including where and how to rebuild. And the community will begin asking some of those questions at a forum tomorrow night up at the Vermont College of Fine Arts. Reporting in Montpelier, Calvin Cutler, Channel 3 News.